Today's children aren't texting enough. They should begin cell phone use at a much younger age than today's current average. Texting is fingered speech. That's a quote by John McWhorter. Lily Huang's article, The Death of the English Language, LOL, debates the outcome of the youth who text more frequently, and specifically those who text frequently while using TextDs and other abbreviations, compared to those who do not, and what their learning outcomes are and success in different types of tests that they have. My position on this is that I feel that texting and using abbreviations will not hinder, but rather aid in vocabulary communication skills. It provides more time to be writing things and be able to have more different conversations than someone who would not be doing such things. You'll be able to make more structured messages, sentences, paragraphs, debates, and truly get the practice you need. It will also help improve your quick thinking and decision-making skills by having many phrases and many finger motions ready to go by this practice. You'll have that thought process down. It'll become natural to you in quick thinking and those communication skills. As well as this opens the door to the user to ask questions to help improve their communication skills, such as learning new words used by another, the spelling of words that you're not sure of, and how to deal with situations properly from past situations you've had through these conversations. TextDs is a form of English dialect that combines both letters and numbers to produce ultra-concise words. Many examples of these include great, for example, using GR and then the number 8 or the word later, L8R. If you sound it out with these words all spelled together, they can be used to make another word. A good TextDs for quick situations, slang, and relating to somebody. Not all of these abbreviations, though, include numbers. Some are just purely letters, such as LOL or BRB for be right back. I'm sure the class has many that they use that I haven't included, and I'd love to hear them if you guys want to comment that. Although there's a common conception that texting, and especially texting with shortened words, is almost dumbing down the English language because we're not willing to type out the full thing, we're too lazy. But in fact, what it is we're trying to be more effective and using this and finding greater what's the word I'm looking for? Greater achievement through this. And many agree with this, including David Crystal, who's mentioned in this article quite a bit, and in his article, Oxford, texting the great debate. And every word written in that sentence is either a slang or a TextDs. Mr. Crystal breaks down the elements of today's society, including abbreviations, pictograms, any type of emotional connections, etc. Basically everything that goes on in today's texting. And he compares them to past generations and tries to attempt to make connections in how they've done them. For example, right now with it being an abbreviation, he discusses how we connected that back to 1666 when it was first introduced of a call in the afternoon, the PM time of post-meridium, meaning after midday. And that's a connection of an abbreviation back to 1966. It's something that he does, for example. And he believes that how it works is language will evolve the same way that humans will evolve. And right now we're currently in a texting area. And as evolution goes on with humans, there's usually a drastic change, such as a meteor. But right now what he's saying is being able to have these communication skills at our hands, it's able to make it much, much different and change the world and how we want to communicate. Another point to discuss is the Britain 2007 experiment. This experiment proved in children who were texting, and especially children who were specifically children who were texting using TextDs and other abbreviations, were able to score a much higher score than the children who were not texting or using these. The study went as far as to say that the students who started texting earlier in life and the ones who were using more complex abbreviations were actually the ones who scored the highest. So these people who have clearly had the most experience and the most time using the phone and having these short forms made and communication with others, they scored the highest because they've had the most practice. They haven't been limited to just purely verbal communication. So they've expanded it. This is able to show how children grasp knowledge from having more frequent experience and really understand it. It said in the article before, I'm paraphrasing this, but before you can truly understand, or before you can make an abbreviation, you must truly understand the word. You cannot make something shorter until you understood it, how to pronounce it, the meaning of it, and everything behind it. So in fact, they're not dumbing it down, but they know it more than they need to where they want to change it. When you're put in more situations, you will ask the questions that help you really get the brain development and your communication skills. And in the next year, in Britain, they take these polls of their texting. In 1 year, it increased 20% after this message, or this article. You can relate that to if the cell phone got more popular, or whether this article truly got parents thinking that this was able to make their children smarter if they were texting at a younger age. That is up to you to decide. I feel like both have a strong opinion, or a strong part of it, but my opinion is these children started texting after this and using abbreviations. Texting is able to help a child get access to more writing skills at a young age compared to purely learning in class or verbal communications. They're not limited, as I said before. It is able to improve the thought process of how to complete and structure sentences and other forms of communications. It opens the mind to curiosity, not limiting it to such a one thing, but opening it to anything could change. Like these words, they're changing. I agree. The use of these devices and textees are able to improve communication skills, and giving a child these access at an early age will drastically improve their verbal communication skills, social skills, and brain development. So I would truly recommend making a child be able to have this if they wanted, as soon as they wanted, because it's going to do nothing but benefit them. As long as you are able to explain there's a time and place for all communication in the classroom, it's not a time for abbreviation. But I feel like once that is stated to them and they know the difference of when they can use this, it is go for it, because it will do nothing but help them in the end.